I'm Ross Cox, co-founder of DisSpace. I'm going to talk to you about what work looks like today and what that means for your business. The way we work has changed and your business needs to evolve too. With a few notable exceptions like hospitals and schools, we now have the online communication and collaboration tools to support a new, more flexible way of working. How, where and when people work is far less constrained as they leverage this technology. Flexible working is the future of work. How did this come about? Well, prior to the rapid uptake of online technology and tools, work had to happen in offices. The tools required to do a job were housed within those offices, and therefore there was a logical argument for putting the workforce in a single location at the same time on the same days. As technology rapidly became leveraged across business in the noughties, we retained our offices and working hours for our staff, but it became a race to squeeze every hour from every day, as people left the office and continued to do work outside of hours using their newfound connectivity. Technology was dictating what we did, the way we worked. We're now seeing an evolution. There's no coincidence that the 40% growth in self-employment during this tech age has been fueled by lower barriers to starting up that technology allows, and an increasing desire to shape work around having a life. And that more flexible model of working is starting to feed into bigger business. According to a Direct Line Commission study in October this year, 74% of people said a company's flexible working policy was important to them. And an IWG study in May said that 53% of the global workforce now spend more than half the week away from a fixed office location. People are leading a tech-enabled, flexible working revolution. Consider this. The office is the least likely place to get work done. If you want to be able to grab more than 15 minutes of work time a day, you're going to need to be in before everyone else arrives in the morning and stay long after they leave. Your core hours are littered with meetings, colleague taps on the shoulder. To quote the great bestseller Rework by the founders of Basecamp, the office is an interruption factory. And let's think about how we get to that office. The joyous experience of commuting. If you conservatively average, a commute takes 30 minutes of travel time and 15 minutes either end getting from your mode of transport to your destination. You're losing 400 productive hours a year getting to that interruption factory. And that's before you even start to think about the impact of that frustrating journey on your mood, your corresponding work output, and how you feel generally in life. But what about performance? You can't achieve good performance if your staff aren't visible, supervised, can you? Well, actually you can. Flexible working is outcome-based, and that's exactly what your business should be too. If your people need to be locked in every day for a set number of hours and supervised, you've got a trust issue and you're hiring the wrong people. Whatever it is for your business, getting it done is the objective, not how, where, or when you did it. The world is already littered with examples of business failures from not adapting, from retailers like House of Fraser losing to the rise in online shopping, chain restaurants like Prezzo and Coluccio's not adapting to changing consumer tastes and standards, examples like Kmart purchasing Borders and not recognising that the experience, the proposition of that business was about going into those stores, looking over those books, talking to the staff and getting their knowledge and input on what to purchase, what to read. It wasn't simply a transaction. Is failing to adapt to flexible working going to be the next big killer of businesses? Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but you can't win with flexible working, surely. It's too hard to implement, the processes are too complicated. Well, there's plenty of examples that suggest otherwise. Look at InVision. They've got great growth, great traction, and no office. What do they say about their experience of flexible working? Well, it's about results, not where your IP address is. There's an emphasis on outcomes, not physical presence. There's a big emphasis on trust. There's no geographic boundaries to talent acquisition, meaning you can get the best people for your roles. And giving individuals the freedom and flexibility over hours and holidays is very attractive. It results in higher morale, better standards of loyalty, and better standards of work. But that's fine for young Generation Z upstarts born into this world of technology and flexible working. Bigger, more established businesses are too long in the tooth to change, surely. Not true, actually. There's lots of examples of embracing flexible working in older businesses, from AT&T to Unilever, Mercedes to Virgin. Look at Dell. Their connected workplace program not only delivers flexible working, but is also demonstrating huge environmental benefits too. They provide a really compelling case for a different way of working, with a reduced operational and energy footprint, a team that are 4 times as engaged, twice as likely to stay, a bigger talent pool both in terms of lack of geographic barriers and lack of family lifestyle barriers to hiring, and much lower overheads from rationalising buildings and locations required to operate. Flexible working is not only not a problem or an issue or even a risk on your register, it's a solution to being able to operate in today's world and actually get better at what you do. And as human beings, we want this and we're starting to demand it. We're opening our eyes to reclaiming a life outside of work, hence the growth in self-employment, and seeing that we can be better at what we do if we're happier when we aren't doing it. What do we want? We want to be able to work anywhere. Yes, we're happy and enjoy all getting together, but we want to be able to fit where we work around the places we need to be. We want to be able to work around things going on in our life at times that suit us. We want you as employers to be able to provide the communication and collaboration tools that exist that enable us to do our jobs remotely really effectively. We want to have control over when and where and how much leave we take. We recognise when we need downtime, and we can take that downtime and come back more productive, with higher morale, better well-being, more motivated, and producing much better standards of work and greater number of ideas. And we want to have a role that's outcome focused, not time or location focused. We want to be able to understand and deliver against the results you need for a business, but we want to have control over how we do it so that it works for us. So providing a flexible working culture and strategy, you as a business get much lower overheads, there's less office space required, you can use your offices for big get-togethers and showcasing your wares to your clients, not as a place that everybody comes to work from day in, day out. Office space costs between £2,500 and £16,000 a year per seat. Sitting on it doesn't provide £16,000 worth of inspiration. You get access to a much bigger talent pool. There are no geographic barriers. Hire from where you want. Focus on the people, not where they are. There's no lifestyle barriers. It means you can tap into that great talent that resides in homes that have family obligations and other needs to work outside of traditional working hours and traditional locations. And you get better outcomes. Force yourself finally to be clear about what you need to do and measure against that. You'll need to. And hire better. Don't let supervision and the investment that takes mask performance quality. Forward-thinking businesses are already embracing flexible working. Businesses we work with like NSEC are working with us to support them with the infrastructure needs that implementing a flexible working policy brings. And we have a number of organisations from financial services, legal and other service sector industries that are signing up with this space to provide a flexible working solution. Through our UK-wide venue partnerships, we speak to the need these businesses have when providing and rolling out a flexible working culture. We do this by giving them access to overflow and meeting space in the city they're located, enabling them to streamline their fixed office costs by rationalising space. We provide their remote home working staff with places to work in their own locations to provide those individuals with the variety, the company and the meeting space that they don't get from working at home. And we give their mobile client-facing teams on-the-move sites to sit down, plug in and be productive in between meetings and travel. On top of that, we've got great in-venue concessions on things like free tea and coffee, discounts on other drinks, food, accommodation and parking, all the things that fuel your work while you're moving around, working remotely and accessing that overflow and meeting space. And all of this is for under £30 per person per month, irrespective of the size of your organisation. If you'd like to chat more about how DiskSpace supports businesses in embracing flexible working, please do get in touch with me by emailing ross.cox@diskSpace.co. And remember this, work happens in brains, not offices. Thank you.